It's no longer about content, communities, or consistent uploads. It's an endless series of viral videos made by shorts YouTubers and AI-generated shorts bots. YouTube and its consumption of your time has become a well-oiled machine. YouTube has changed. At-tagged YouTubers carry hashtag videos used road-tagged gear. Caffeine inside their bodies enhance and regulate their abilities. Impressions control, watch time control, views control, retention control. Everything is monitored and kept under control. YouTube has changed. The age of content has become the age of time wasting, all in the name of averting catastrophe from losing the entire user base. And he who controls the viewers controls history. YouTube has changed. When the platform is under total control, YouTube becomes routine.
Keep up the pace!
Raiden is a guy who got introduced in Metal Gear Solid 2, wanted to be like Snake, and said he was
I am lightning, the rain transformed.
which was such a badass line, it killed 2 cyborgs straight afterwards. He is a cyborg, a man who's
your body may be a machine, but your heart is human.
Snake, directly after saying that, got turned into a microwave meal. That was 4 years ago. Now Raiden has to fend for himself and make his own money, so he works for Maverick Security Consulting Incorporated, not to be confused with a guy who can't even scan properly. Tries to help an African nation get back on its feet after it had just had a civil war. See, the fact that the country is never explicitly named is intentional, probably, as this situation in Africa could literally happen anywhere due to it being unstable after having lines drawn across it and then being exploited. This time, they aren't being exploited for resources or anything, they're being exploited for being unstable, which the resource exploitation made them unstable, so it's like a self-fulfilling cycle, which is exactly what just happened. We mean someone who is not Obama gets attacked by someone from
Brazil.
She murders nearly everyone. And is an important character for later, of course. Some guy uses a comically large pair of sword scissors to kill all of the remaining guards on the convoy, then leaps away with the Prime Minister. Try and chase after him, but oh shit, that's a giant metal Godzilla. This game certainly doesn't hold back at the start, I'm all for it. Literally every other action game that doesn't start the strongest is automatically 100 times worse. So it has a few attacks, launching rockets, a stomp attack, machine gun turrets, and because it somehow has the capability to store enough power for the attack, a giant plasma laser. Yeah, not too shabby for a first boss. But hey, give a guy a sword and he's gonna use it, right? Target the feet first, cut off the armor, and then some of the gun turrets, and once it's low enough it gets desperate and, well, it speaks for itself.
ahead! Swinging wide open!
Or you could say I really cut it down to size. Go through what is the closest you'll ever get to living in Birmingham in a video game, and Mr. Scissors sprints off with "Not Obama" with you following after. You get to never mind, it's back already.
That damn you cheat! It still works?
This fight is on a rooftop instead, and it does what it was doing before, but missing an arm with a much smaller arena. Slice out supposedly its face, final gun turret, and well this. And it's finally, nope, you made the same mistake again, you fucking poser. Okay guys, I think it's dead. The explorative spinal surgery probably did the trick. Catching up to a moving train somehow, Guy Raiden was meant to be protecting gets kebabbed. Even though a kebab is the way the meat is cooked, not how it's served. And you fight. Yeah, so you could say Raiden was unprepared, but I don't think that would be enough. Yeah, he almost dies.
And not half bad. Still. Now I see. You deny your weapon its purpose. It yearns to bathe in the blood of your enemies, but you hold it back.
Arm ripped off.
This is what happens when you bring a tool to a sword fight. It's over. Lucky devil.
And then he gets barely saved by his boss.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Boris Popov tries to gun Sam down, tries to destroy the enemy helicopter, but actually doesn't kill or maim anyone due to them being too good. Having a bunch of anti-missile flares because they were prepared for this, obviously. Well, let's hope Raiden recovers from this. Looking back at what just happened, he lives. He has been beaten badly by someone much better than him. And who did the villains even work for? Well, it gets explained a little better soon. A few weeks pass and he's been rebuilt with an AR visor and an arm after the last one just got sliced off. Becomes a bird for reasons apparently.
How does it feel to fly like a bird? like a bird strapped to a remote control rocket.
He then proceeds to have an ethical argument with the other employees about how cyborgs aren't considered people in war. Those people being Kevin Washington and Courtney Collins, and they just say, oh, they deserve to be considered human, and oh, they're just defenseless little guys. Ryan proceeds to state his opinion on the whole matter, ripping out their spines and using the electrolytes from their spines as a protein punch. I go through what is probably designed to be a stealth section in quotation marks in the way that you're just not meant to. It means I get curb stomped by geckos again and again and again. Most annoying enemy with 650 horsepower. Unverified information. I could have literally just pressed a button and walked through. I didn't need to, you know, get curb stomped. Well, I walked through a completely normal hallway and...
Greetings, cyborg.
Show yourself.
He immediately tries to slice Raiden in half. Is a robot dog who is hyper intelligent. Has to kill Raiden, not because he actually wants to, but because he would have his memory wiped.
Should I disobey a direct order, my memory would be wiped. I must destroy you.
What good is an intellect if you can't use it?
So they really made a robot sentient just to enslave it. If we want to go back into this history fully, well, back 2 years ago in 2016, meet Sam while he tries to destroy the company behind this whole thing. Sam defeats it mentally by making it realize it's enslaved.
Your orders are to kill me?
Yes.
Call me biased, but those seem like pretty dumb orders, Bob. Why don't you try thinking for yourself?
For myself.
And physically by making it explode. Then, just before this mission, Blade Wolf goes to where Raiden currently is, meet Kamsasin.
It speaks. I'm Kamsin, aka the Desert Storm.
You will be joining him on the next mission.
Buckle the fuck up, little doggy.
It makes a bid for freedom when redacted. Forgets to hold the iPhone properly. Runs, meets Kamsasin.
If you don't know freedom, then I can't expect you to get our cause. But it don't matter. Understand it or not. You'll die for it all the same.
As a massive mech and an axe, parry the 50-meter titanium basalt chainsaw axe with a chainsaw that's 10 times smaller, and then cut him open a few times, rip him out, cut him into little tiny pieces, then redacted. Rolls Blade Wolf because she has a backup switch. Why didn't this dog expect this to happen? And then made it shake. So it's filled with hate from being enslaved and has a chainsaw, so yeah, this should go great. But hey, I've killed it now, and it's asking me to rebuild it, you know? Hope that goes well. Try to cross the bridge, but encounter rapid deconstruction, and then kill a helicopter, you know, with a sword. Then he opens a gate, calmly. There's a little bit of cutting. You're a woman! For the first time, she's with another man, of course. Meet Gun Mechanic Trademark Incorporated. Go up a tower and meet...
I was wondering when you'd come, Jack the Ripper.
No one calls me that anymore. Dosaev, where is he?
I can show you a better time than that crusty old bear.
You're in charge here?
I am Mistral, the cold wind of France.
Raiden learns she's French.
Your reputation precedes you. Liberian, but white as snow. A natural-born killer, even as a child.
That was a long time ago.
I was born in Algeria myself, you know. I'm only half French.
And?
We had our own civil war in the 90s. So you see? Cut from the same cloth, you and I.
You don't know me.
I lost my whole family. Everything. But I butchered those fuckers.
A war criminal, but who cares, being French is much worse. But she's like really good with her 16 hands and enjoys putting them on a little too much. And then Raiden gets whipped with those hands, really treading a thin line here, huh? Raiden becomes great friends with Stun Mechanic, Trademark Incorporated. Raiden dropkicks her for being weird and, you know, probably overstepping some boundaries. Covers her in white liquids, those being nitrogen. You were thinking something else, huh? Slices her into little tiny pieces like anyone should. And here's her say that she loves the other man.
So this is how they felt. Dying. For a cause.
Wait. No. Hold on.
I am sorry. He was too much.
I do not need apology. I need you alive.
But I know you will never fall.
What is this talk about?
To them. The two won't go.
And doesn't have time to get mad as he blows himself to hell, as this is the natural response for a tier 3 sub when learning your e-girl has just died.
Sky's lined up, right?
Yep, all set.
Hope so. You'd be a little conspicuous just walking the streets.
Great disguise, and have that robot dog from earlier explain the joke.
You sure you want the K9000 there along for this one?
I had the good doctor make some adjustments along with the repairs. Remote piloting and AI wiping have been disabled. So yeah, I say let's throw him a bone.
Wordplay. My exoskeleton resembles a canine. Canines enjoy bones. I'm using on 2 levels.
Then go into the sewers immediately because an American would rather be covered in shit than be 20 feet of a meet a cyborg with the most natty physique ever and slice him into tiny pieces. Don't get stunned by the stun mechanic, surprisingly. Meet the black crocodiles, even though they're not crocodiles. Most annoying enemies to ever exist. Unironically, I punched my computer so hard I lost the entire save file and had to redo everything up to this point. This isn't even a joke. Meet a Ghanaian kid, learn they want to harvest Hagen children. I'm trying to find a joke here. There is none. They are organ harvesting children. Could at least wait 18 years. Find a box and do the thing in the title of the game. Physically incapable of being still for more than 2 seconds because of my Parkinson's, get my shit kicked in, stealth, find some guy who glides around with water, don't think he's that dangerous, and then find out he has a flamethrower. Naturally. Try and find a completely normal looking wall. Plot twist, not a wall. Delph it, Trademark Incorporated. Do the usual.
Cyborgs you've been fighting, did they seem like they might be kids? You said earlier that child soldiers have a telltale approach to combat.
Yeah, but I didn't see it here. Those weren't kids.
at the suggestion that he was killing children. Obviously he knows he wasn't killing children because he's killing terrorists, and he's such a great guy, and he then proceeds to become the stun mechanic and do the thing in that one game. Haha, it's so funny. And download some form of malware. Watch a weird episode of the Mandela Catalog. Go into Grad. Great at raising hell and giving me death. It does said thing until I do said thing back and learn the American government is corrupt and profits of war? No way! Commentary! Find fluid and watch some children almost get gassed and die. Meet a completely fucked up scientist. Holds the kid Raiden had just met hostage. Cut him in half, of course. The scientist and off screen to the child. Go into the state of being 14.19 rectangle that is full of mountains and the one big city in the middle, Denver. Start off by disappointing a child, meet the most chill American policeman who shoots you first and then asks you to pull over. Naturally, resign. You do that when you're getting arrested. Get in a car accident. Meet another calm and reasonable police officer who is, totally calm and reasonable, and have a calm and reasonable discussion with.
You're in violation of state and federal law.
Guess you better arrest me then.
183-104.7, threatening a peace officer. Deadly force is authorized.
The discussion involving slicing them in half and ripping out his spine. Avoid the great at raising hell and giving me death. Say he wants to stop kids from being like him. Murder the stun mechanic trademark incorporated. Uphold copyright law. Proceed to plagiarize Mirror's Edge afterwards. Meet Reinhardt from Overwatch and also meet his body double as well. Violate OSA elevator regulations and do the section which was not designed for YouTube videos at all. Stealthing out along the way. Mainly because you can't actually see anything, so how the hell are you meant to hit them? Make a joke and have that robot dog you literally rebuilt and gave back life. Cool Raiden, unfunny and cringe.
Raiden, we must hurry.
Remind me to teach you about sarcasm sometime.
I understand your attempts at humor. I simply do not find them entertaining.
Kill another great at raising hell without a hitch. Stealth even harder. Stop stealthing. Have an argument about morals with a fucking terrorist. Yeah, it's Sam again. He's a terrorist and he's on the billboards.
Jetstream Sam.
I heard you chopped the last victor in half. Old habits die hard, Jack. But now here you are. The childish soul, fighting for the children. Aren't you? Gonna fix everything. Just you and your little sword there. Solve everything with violence. Is that it? All those cyborgs you've killed up to now. Maybe they weren't kids, but they were people. You ever think about them? When you're chopping them into half?
They're adults. They made their choice.
Sure they're adults. Sure they signed up for this. Right on the dotted line of their BMC contract. Usually they're no strangers to war. In fact, many times they already lost a limb or two. Many times they were out of work and starving on the street. So yes, they sign up for surgery to fight God knows where. How else would you provide for your family when your country's embroiled in civil war? Pain receptors shut down, pumped full of fear-inhibiting nanomachines and sent right into the blender? Your blender? But they made their choice, right? Those battlefield emotions that the nanos suppress. Listen to them.
What are you talking about?
Shh.
There he is! Kill him! take him.
What's wrong?
The way he killed all the others? Oh God. Please God, don't let me die.
Let's do this.
Somehow, he gets guilt-tripped into not killing them, and then proceeds to kill them immediately afterwards. And then you get to the big building, and you meet Monsoon, and continues to have an argument with fucking
My name is Monsoon, of the Winds of Destruction.
Yeah. I guessed as much.
Tune out for like 5 seconds, and then he starts talking about memes and how religion is a lie. Then get distracted by a man playing with a cat. Finally given to childhood trauma.
But who am I kidding? I was born to kill.
Get stabbed, and Doctor, turn off my unoriginality inhibitors.
But Ryzen, you will get dislike bombed by the Maxo.
Do it!
Alright then.
Ah, Family Guy fighting up.
I think it's time for Jack to let her rip.
Stabs Raiden with his feminine blades because they're pink. I believe in traditional family values. Cancels Raiden again and again for making that statement, and the cancellation clouds Raiden's judgment of what the fuck to do in this situation. Instead of saying sorry like a beta male, continue fighting, and then he uses vehicles of war incorrectly because the lefty doesn't know how a fucking tank works. His complete femininity shatters him into pieces, making him untouchable because Raiden would never hit a woman, especially one who throws themselves at him so directly. Like, so he shatters his ideals and fights him like a man instead. The immense amount of traditional family values causes him to throw his mega ultra giga improvised metallic cheese wheels the size of your mother. He proceeds to try and erode Raiden's traditional family values by destroying the Washington Monument and blaming the destruction on Raiden, but Raiden slices them into even smaller pieces than it already was before you could hit send on his 75th cancellation tweet. Now Raiden enters Twitter HQ.
The brains are in the server room undergoing training. Knock yourself out. Go nuts.
Just like most corporate accounts, the first thing Raiden has to talk to is obviously a bot. Then Raiden gets RT Games experience with YouTube support. They are trying to destroy him. Raise loads of weapons. Have a reasonable discussion with the rest of YouTube support. And take the elevator up to another stealth section. Ignore this fact. Increase the resistance of the fuse boxes. Get hit for a wall. Meet Reinhardt again. And have a conversation with a German scientist about each other's history. And it goes about as well as you would expect. Go through the most structurally sound hallways in existence, reliving a Michael Bay movie, and somehow find a grad, which, mind you, is the size of a tank, on the 17th floor of a building. Give it a low grad E in the living department, and do the most realistic action sequence in the history of video games. How the fuck does he grip to that? It's glass. It's fucking glass, and he has Heelys on. Discovered corporate exec who is a fucking weeb. See, with this video, there is no references to Genshin Impact. Suck my dick, Max, or I'm joking. Unless, even more stealth. Fall off a platform even though there's a railing, like how I'm railing your Robot Dog realizes Raiden is doing this because he doesn't want kids to end up continue being exploited and enter the elevator. This has to be the tallest fucking elevator in any video game in the entire world. The section goes on for at least 5 minutes, and Raiden meets all of the gang. Default guy with sword, leggies, shield guy, the thing I hate, knockoff Bladable, guys with RPGs, stun mechanic, and Reinhardt Overwatch, and the 2 men with the most natty physique ever created. Finally get out of the elevator shaft, get close to the server room, have an entire 3-minute conversation about the name of the room, and then necromancy is committed. Ryan has to fight the French lady again, but this time she's an AI, so she doesn't say a word. Not I'd say, considering she doesn't say anything either. Do the usual stuff, cut her in 15 different places, and kill her body double. Then Ride meets Monsoon again. You literally just fought him 20 minutes ago. He does what he did before, just without speaking and throwing random large objects at Raiden. Kill him as well and enter the server room.
Another thing you have in common. I chose this. They're kids, you son of a bitch. And kids are cruel. All people are by nature. They just lose touch with it as they get older. Start thinking they know right and wrong. That's immoral. War crime this, code of conduct that. Kids, you can mold, manipulate it to performing all kinds of atrocities. And there's nothing like a good atrocity to keep a war going. That's why I'm shutting you down. Oh, you just don't see the bigger picture, do you? Say you bring this whole place down. Waltz out of the rubble with all these precious brains. Nothing changes. All the guys in charge are long gone. We've got offices around the world. We're just suppliers. We don't create the market for war.
Meet Sundowner, the man who loves the military-industrial complex, who hates children, and is using hundreds of kids' brains to mine Bitcoin or something, and
none of this will matter in 3 hours. Demand for PMCs is about to skyrocket. Like the good old days after 9/11! What are you talking about?
he also is gonna do even worse damage than 9/11 did on Global Peace in 3 hours. So yeah, time's probably the essence here. See what the fuck this is, and go onto the helipad to face him.
How's this, Jack? We can play up here without damaging the merchandise. What happens in 3 hours? Don't matter. You're too late. Even at Mach 2, you wouldn't make it. And killing you is gonna take some time. Slow and painful. Like I said, kids are cool, Jack. And I'm very in touch with my inner child.
Right, no, it's awful, it's fucking explosive. Somehow, you bet this guy took me a while, even though he's considered easy to a lot of people. I didn't know what I was doing. Skipping 2 hours of me getting my entire body destroyed again and again, I cut off the arm pieces so he doesn't make me explode, and he proceeds to go gamer mode of me, oversizes and all, even though he's actually easier. He also feels the need to give me free health and decides to hold up a comically large pole, just like the pole your mum killed him, and he whimsically falls off the building. Psych, he lives, uses a helicopter and nearly kills me, and I go up the impossibly tall building 100 times faster this time using a glider somehow. Flies through reinforced concrete, dodge missiles, and throw my glider at him, and then proceed to turn him into shards of himself. I hear funny Senator's man's gonna launch 9/11, the sequel, in 3 hours, about 4,500 miles away, meaning I have to get there faster than Mach 2, and it involves the president's visit to the great land of Pakistan. You can only guess what's gonna happen. I need to take a very fast flight. Very fast. I take a nice, wholesome, uninterrupted helicopter flight, and then slice up some unmanned stealth drone, jump back to the helicopter, and proceed to fumble the bag very, very hard. I do a very soft landing and finally start escaping Colorado. Finally, I fucking hate this rectangle. Makes sense why I called it Twitter HQ. Well, I proceed to kill every living being that wanted me dead and try and leave. I commit the kindest GTA possible and drive into the sunset. But not before I meet that guy, you know, Jetstream Sam. Guy who cut Ryan in half at the start of the game.
Fancy meeting you here. You knew I'd come. I suppose I should thank you for not killing everyone at the launch site. Well, not if you say it like that. For a hired killer, you're not very good at your job. The war is the big payoff. Right. Big raises all around once World Marshal gets all those contracts. I'm not talking about money, Jack. I'm talking ideals. Excuse me? Forget it. We've both heard enough speeches about higher causes by now. History will decide who's right. End of story. I don't care who thinks I'm right. And I've got cause enough for killing you. Huh? Oh, good. Why, that's very good. Yes, I like that.
Must you really fight?
Don't interfere. This is between us. And it ends here. Okay. Let's dance!
This is where the game actually teaches you how to parry properly. Before this, I was just accidentally doing it, using nanopace as the world's biggest crutch. In this, I actually have to game hard. If you mess up once, 30 health just disappears. Gone. You actually have to focus. Actually be good at video games. Plot twist, I'm not. After you do enough of that, Ryan knocks out with the sword from his hand, and he enters his second, significantly harder phase. So he can't turn Raiden into pancetta, so instead he learns how to make a puddle out of Raiden. Hey dude, did you know that slamming someone's head into the ground at 80 miles an hour is beneficial to their health? Let's try it. Oh man, I didn't do it correctly. 3 times the charm. Repeat until Raiden is incapacitated to get proven right to. He also makes Raiden do a backflip, which is pretty cool. After hitting this totally defenseless man again and again with Raiden's sword, he finally decides to hold himself back again. Just because he's now seeming weaker doesn't mean my dumbass won't find some way to fuck it up severely. We kebab him. He fucking dies, and we learn he was actually, in fact, all natty. Yeah! And then we run off to avoid the consequences. We meet a disgusting Redditor. Why couldn't we just kill him instead of Sam here? Just seems cool. And proceed to meet an 11-year-old who was in cutscene marathon just set 4 years before. Who also has 2,000 hours Kerbal Space Program, better with dogs than me. And I'm very mad. You get in the rocket, which the Redditor of course doesn't notice because he's too busy probably whacking it to 13-year-old girl. And now we arrive in We arrive to stop Tecum said, don't laugh, this will kill millions. Kill a bunch of cyborgs and oh no, no, doggy puppy, what happened to you? And then an earthquake starts. Plot twist, not an earthquake, it's actually title thing. Yeah, so it's a giant enemy spider, and we meet Senator Armstrong. He loves all isms, including
unilateralism, materialism. Welcome maxims for those with no faith, without guiding principles of their own. Give yourself up to the whole. No need to better yourself. You're American. You're number one. Then the only value left is dollar value. The economy. So we'll do whatever it takes to keep it humming along. Even war. Especially war. Bullshit! The Patriots planted the seed. We don't need them around to filter and foster their memes any longer. We're spreading them just fine ourselves. Every American man, woman, and child. We're all Patriots now!
He's doing all of this for the US economy, and he's got a giant mecha. And the whole joke about the World Marshal being Twitter HQ works very well here, considering Twitter is literally a plot point here. Oh yeah, the giant mecha. How did I... Metal Gear Excelsior technically isn't a Metal Gear because that would require it to have nuclear launch capabilities, which it doesn't have. What it does have is two blades, which Raiden has to dodge or fail to do so and die immediately. Hit the blades and he moves around one of the legs, which you have to move out of the way, otherwise it will crush you, of course. Also, just a small tangent, but personally the boss has the best music in this entire game. Which is impressive considering all of it is stellar. But damage its foot enough, get called a little bitch, and slice the entire fucking leg off. This stuns him, of course, because that's usually what happens when you cut someone's leg off. And then you lay in the damage on his face. Then he sends out some geckos and fires his plasma cutters, which instantly kills said geckos. Like a coding error or a design flaw, but it's just a weird attack. He sends out another foot to do the same thing, and you again do the same thing to the mech, which is slice off the entire leg. And then tapping into what strength from the beginning of the game, you fucking fling the entire mech, rip off its arm, and with the remaining arm, duel it out with the mecha, and then slice the entire mech in tiny pieces with its own arm. Many have said this before, and many will say it again, but I'll still say it. I love this game. Nuke the entire thing, and this is where the real fight begins. Gets all charged up, and now this is where he is balling. He is punching, and he is called Armstrong for a fucking reason. Breaks your sword like a little toothpick, get bullied, and then make commentary and bully him back.
And your approval rating. You've got no principles. Just like all the rest. If America's gone to shit, you're just another maggot crawling in the pile. All right, the truth then. You're right about one thing. I do need capital and votes. Wanna know why? I have a dream. What? That one day, every person in this nation will control their own destiny. A land of the truly free, damn it. A nation of action, not words, ruled by strength, not committee. Where the law changes to suit the individual, not the other way around. Where power and justice are back where they belong. In the hands of the people! Where every man is free to think, to act for himself! Fuck all these lunatic lawyers and chicken shit bureaucrats! Fuck this 24/7 internet spew of trivia and celebrity bullshit! Fuck American pride! Fuck the media! Fuck all of it! America is diseased, rotten to the core. There's no saving it. We need to pull it out by the roots. Wipe the slate clean. Burn it down! And from the ashes, a new America will be born! Evolved, but unchained! The weak will be purged. And the strongest will thrive. Free to live as they see fit. They'll make America great again!
What the hell are you talking about?
You still don't get it. I'm using war as a business to get elected! So I can end war as a business. In my new America, people will die and kill for what they believe! Not for money, not for oil! Not for what they're told is right. Every man will be free to fight his own wars! So, what do you think?
How the hell did you get elected?
Well, I don't write my own speeches. You should try fighting for what you believe in sometime, Jack. Not for a company or a nation or for anyone else.
Maybe I was wrong about you.
Am I finally getting through? I'll rid this world of pointless wars, Jack.
I was wrong. You're not greedy. You're batshit insane!
Making the mother of all omelets here, Jack. Can't spread over every egg.
Not when you're purging the weak, right? What do you know about the weak? You weren't born poor. You've never been hungry. You don't know what it's like to fight, and steal, and kill just to survive.
But you did survive! Through sheer force of will, following your own set of rules. With your own two hands, you took back your life!
And now, I'll take yours.
So now you have a 1v1 fist fight with him, and it goes about as well as you would expect, mainly because he has
nanomachines, son! They harden in response to physical trauma. You can't hurt me, Jack!
and the bullying begins.
What did I just say? Time to end this.
And you, You survive, somehow.
All right. I think we're about done here.
Right.
And then the doggy comes back. Yay! With Samsud.
Whoa.
Begin playback.
2 years I've been working towards this. And on the last day, Blondie has me downing the whole thing. We'll leave it up to fate then, shall we, Wolfie? A duel to the death. May the best man win.
Sam.
I cut him down, and that's that. Back to a regularly scheduled international incident. But if he beeps me, if I die here, the lock on my blade will disable after a couple hours. What happens after that is up to you, Wolfie.
Huh. Even dead, that guy's a pain in my ass. So... you think that little sword can save your master? Well, go ahead then. But make no mistake, Fido. When I'm finished with him, you're next.
I was not designed to fear termination.
Huh?
However, Directive 01 is to ensure all data acquired is preserved and passed along. To expire here would violate that directive.
That's a good boy.
However, Raiden came to my aid. I have learned from him. When Samuel fell, data analysis was inconclusive. But that has changed. I have established new parameters now, created my own directives.
You little fuck.
Yay! He's... oh god, no! Here it begins.
I said my sword was a tool of justice. Not used in anger. Not used for vengeance. But now I'm not so sure. And besides, this isn't my sword. Come on! Okay. Let's dance.
Armstrong breaks some ground, drop kicks, punches, makes pillars of hot lava, and he is not holding back. He explodes, he swipes, he destroys our side balls, he headbutts, and we do a little bit of ribcage destruction to him back. He throws giant pieces of metal, we slice, and we chuck him like we're his abusive stepdad. He heals using the green juice from earlier, and we stop him from doing it by slicing a very specific point on his back. Tries so hard to punch us, we break his ribs in 17 places, and also do the same to his jaw. His fight took me 8 days to beat, also because I had to make that portal video, which indicates that it's very, very hard. Also really fun, so I'm glad it lasted kind of 8 days. Finally, he tries to choke us out, he fails, tries to punch us, and finally, in a hint of irony, gets kebabbed. He finally tries to put up a fight, as Raiden says. Honestly, this scene is heart-throbbing. Really making the blood flow through my okay, I'll shut the fuck up.
Your dream dies with you. Maybe not. You've guaranteed the status quo will go on. For a while longer, at least. War will continue as an institution. As an industry. Men will fight for reasons they don't understand. Causes they don't believe in. But at least I'll leave a worthy successor. You, Jack. You carve your own path. Use whatever methods you see fit. You don't let legal bullshit get in the way. And if it costs a few lives, so be it. Deep inside, we're kindred spirits. You and I.
Oh yeah, the president got saved and the kid cyborgs too. Also, child flirting scene with Kerbal Space Program girl and a Guyana kid. Who cares? No one wants to see that. Also, there's a post-credit scene about a sequel that will totally come out. Definitely. Wait, what? Please, God, don't be NFTs. Please, I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Please. For the love of God. Anyway, in retrospect, this game is amazing and fun. The characters are mostly memorable and usually funny. And as you'll know, already, the memes are great from it. And the two characters, them being foils to each other. Raiden and Armstrong. Raiden uses force to protect others. And as he said,
there's a saying I like. One sword keeps another in the sheath.
While Armstrong uses it to keep the status quo and protect himself. One has cold metal skin and a human heart, and the other has human skin and a cold metal heart. One helps others and is unknown. One helps himself and is known. Thanks for watching.